Hey, what's going on, subscribers? Welcome back to another brand new video from the Flaming Prophets YouTube channel. Thank you all so much for tuning in for today's video. Today I have a very good book review. This is honestly probably one of the best books I've ever read in my life. It really changes the way you think of certain aspects of life and how to achieve maximum productivity and success in your life. And this was actually a book recommended to me by Passive Income Tom. He's a YouTuber. He has a YouTube channel where he dedicates his channel for passive income. So make sure you check it out. I'll leave his link in the description where you can check it out and subscribe to his channel. Before we get started, we do have some free links right here in the description where you can sign up to different brokerages and get free money and free stocks as well. This is for Mercari. You get $10 off any purchase, so pretty cool. This is a secure credit card that I used to be able to be qualified to get a credit card. You get $50 to spend if you sign up for it. All the links are in the description. So let's go ahead and get started with the book. So if I had to summarize this book in 3 sentences or 3 summaries, it'll basically be: the compound effect is a strategy of reaping huge rewards from small, seemingly insignificant actions. Number 2, you cannot improve something until you measure it. Number 3, always take 100% responsibility for every single thing that happens to you. Alright, so I'm going to summarize different sentences that I read from the book that really stood out, that kind of summarize the whole book overall. And some of these are very profound, so I know you'll enjoy them and get a lot of advice from them. So let's go ahead and get started. So the compound effect is the operating system that has been running your life, whether you know it or not. If it's the first time hearing about the compound effect, you're going to be astonished by what it can do to you and what it can do to you in a negative way as well. So success is doing a half dozen things really well, repeated 5,000 times. You don't need more knowledge, you need a new plan of action. A lot of people think they're missing knowledge, but you're actually not. You already know everything you need to know. All you need to do is set up a plan of action and stick to it. Consistency is the ultimate key to success. That's what the book focuses on a lot. It's more important to be consistent more than anything else. It doesn't matter if you succeed a few times and then fail all the other ones. The most important thing is being consistent all the time. If you aren't better, you have to work harder. The compound effect is a strategy of reaping huge rewards from small, seemingly insignificant actions. There's this formula that the book talks about, which is small choices plus consistency plus time is equivalent to significant results. So if you want to have significant results, you have to have a mixture of small choices, consistency, and time. That's the formula. And by the way, aside from this, all of you should be focusing on reading at least a book per month. A lot of really wealthy people have this one thing in common, is that they all read. That's how they learn, that's how they grow as a person, and that's how they develop their knowledge. It's very important for you to be reading at least 1 book per month. Another concept that the book talks about is Tony Robbins' no man's land concept. This is when you're not really happy about your life, but you're not unhappy enough to do anything about it. This is called complacency. Knowledge uninvested is completely wasted. That's why knowledge is not that important. What's more important is taking actions on the knowledge that you have. Choice is at the center of all success and failure. It is what we choose that makes the biggest difference. Too often we sleepwalk through our choices, and this is a critical mistake. We default to choices that our society and culture tells us when we should do, which is absolutely not what you should be doing. You should be deliberately making good choices to benefit your life. It's not big choices, but the ones you think don't matter or count for much that derail us. You don't consistently think about it, but these small decisions actually make really big changes in your life. It is important for you to keep a daily gratitude journal about your spouse. Write down one thing that you are thankful for each day, about your spouse, then give them the book as a gift 1 year later. This is what the author did, and the reaction of her wife was astonishing. Gratitude is acknowledging there are people in your life who have done things for you that you couldn't do for yourself. And it's very important for you to have a lot of gratitude, because what you appreciate appreciates. You have to be willing to give 100% in your relationships. Always take 100% responsibility for every single thing and everything that happens to you, because you are. You alone are responsible for your situation. Everyone has the opportunity to be lucky. If you live in a free society, you are lucky. The first step towards change is awareness. The best way to become aware is to measure. Writing it all down is consistently the key. Tracking your progress and missteps is key for long-term success. Track your behavior for at least 1 week, and you'll see the results that this is going to create. One thing that you have to know is that all winners are trackers. You cannot improve something until you measure it. That's why they say you can't improve what's not being measured. And professional athletes, I don't know if you know this, but they're actually very big on tracking. Tracking will revolutionize your life. The author started by tracking every financial decision in a notebook, and you should be doing the same. Merely becoming conscious of your actions begins to change them. If you are aware of what you're doing, you'll be more likely to change the bad actions. Every dollar you spend today is costing you $5 in 20 years. This is because of the opportunity cost from investing. So every time you spend $1, think of it as $5, because that's the actual worth of that money when you invest it. Making small course corrections will result in exactly zero applause. This book also talked a little bit about Dave Ramsey, which, if you don't know who he is, he's one of the biggest influential person in my life, because he started me on a good path of personal finance. And he has a famous quote that says, personal finance is 80% behavior. This says a lot, because a lot of people think it's about numbers and logic, but it's really not. It's all about making your behavior change. That's how you're going to achieve financial success. The earlier you start making changes, the more the compound effect works in your favor. The key to success is this: are you learning each day? If you are, then you're pretty much going to be successful. If you're not, then you're not succeeding and you're not getting any closer. No business is going to keep someone around just for showing up. You have to continually get ready. Your life is merely a result of your moment-to-moment choices. That's why it's very important for you to make good choices in your life. The older your habits are and the deeper their roots, the harder they are to change. That's why as soon as you start developing a bad habit, you need to change it immediately, because if you wait, it'll get stronger and stronger and harder to get rid of. What are your bad habits? The best moment to get rid of them is now. It stands to reason that since you learned every habit you have, you can also learn new ones, which can be beneficial to your life, good habits. There was this quote in the book that says, if the nose of a plane is pointed just 1% off course when it leaves LA for New York, it will end up in Delaware once it gets to the East Coast. This basically talks about the compound effect, how one small change makes a big difference through the miles that it drives the plane. The most motivating choice are ones that align with your why and your purpose. That's why if you're going to pursue something, it has to align with your why. Why are you doing this? And what is your purpose? If you have a strong enough reason, that'll keep you motivating even through the tough times. You need a deep why for doing stuff. Without that why, you're not going to continue strongly. With a why that is meaningful enough, you will do almost anything. Too many people focus on achievement without fulfillment. That's why you have to know if achieving something will fulfill you. Because if it doesn't, what's the point of pursuing that? If you create goals for yourself that have friction with your values, you're going to self-sabotage or feel guilty about your progress. For example, if your family is a high priority, but you set high financial goals for yourself, then there is friction between these two goals. Decide the life you want first and the business you want second. Most people choose a career before thinking about what kind of life they want to build. The law of attraction is simply directing your attention towards something that was already there. Write down your most important goals. When you set a goal, most people ask, what do I need to do so that I can achieve this goal? Instead, you should ask, who do I need to become? What is your entertainment versus education ratio? The top 20% of people spend their time focused on education. That's why education is a priority, entertainment comes second or last. You need to stop watching the news. The news just aggregates the worst, saddest, and most stressful stories every day. You hardly hear about good news. All of it is negative. Everything negative, get rid of it. If there is a difference between what you say and what you do, then your behavior is the winner. Identify your triggers for your bad habits, the who, what, where, and when that prompts you to start your bad habits. This will be key when eliminating bad habits. Stop by eliminating your triggers. Throw out junk food. Stop lying and justifying hard choices by saying things like, it's not fair for everyone to avoid sweets just because I don't want to eat sweets. Any new habit has to work inside your current life and lifestyle. The gym can't be out of the way. It has to be on the way. Be patient. You've spent years repeating bad behaviors. It's going to take years to build good ones. The book talks a lot about momentum and how big of a critical role it plays in people's life. Objects in motion tend to stay in motion. Have you ever noticed that successful people seem to get more successful, and people who are not successful, who spend all their time watching TV, have you noticed that they continue doing that always? They don't get out of that position. That's because of momentum. With momentum, you can continue succeeding with less work. It's easy to keep things running once you have momentum. One of the best things that I read from this book was this example of him asking people, would you rather have $1 million right now or one penny doubled every day for 31 days? Obviously, most people would say $1 million because who wants a penny that doubles every day? $1 million sounds like good money. I'm going to bet that 95% of you are going to pick the $1 million. That's quite tempting, but the other 5% of you would pick the penny doubled, and I applaud you. Why? Because it's the right answer. You're thinking with a long-term view over the immediate gratification view. I used to be part of the 95%, but I've since changed my thought process ever since I learned a lot about personal finance and money. Some of you are probably shaking your head thinking that a penny is worthless. I think someone called it a pocket weight at one point in my time. I hate getting and carrying around pennies, but if I can get one double in value per day for 31 days, then I love me some pennies. So let me show you how one penny doubled every single day turns into $10 million. When I first heard about turning one penny into over $10 million in just 1 month, I thought it was crazy. But basically, if you actually do the math and you double a penny every single day in 31 days, you know how much you'll end up with? 10.7 million. Yes, I'm serious. That's the real power of compound interest. Even Einstein referred to the compound interest effect. This is the same thing that powers investments and savings in general. Little amounts compounded over time make a huge difference. You won't even believe it. I wanted to show you this because I speak a lot about investing, and this is a good example for all of you to realize. That's why you have to set in place things that will grow over time, and the most important thing is time. Overall, I really love this book because it teaches you that you don't have to do anything crazy to achieve success and great things in life. All you have to do is start small, be consistent about the things, Even small things can make a big difference over time. So let's say you develop a routine where you simply get up a little bit earlier, like 30 minutes than your normal time. You're going to have time to shower, get ready, not feel stressed out, not be in a rush, have your breakfast, have your coffee or whatever you do in the morning. Make sure everything gets organized, everything gets done the way it needs to. You're going to have a much better day than if you just wake up in a rush trying to get your clothes on, everything you need to, and then leave out the door immediately. You're even probably going to forget something on the way. That is why it is important for you to establish good habits that will impact your life in a very good way. And all those habits that you develop, all those small practices over time, they're going to lead to huge success. Who knows? Because you follow that strict regimen of waking up 30 minutes earlier, it might lead to an opportunity later down the road that you wouldn't have had encountered if you hadn't followed that good habit. That's why it's important for you to start small. A lot of people try to lose weight, like 30 pounds, and they do all these dramatic things, like not eating all these things all at once, but they actually end up gaining more weight than before. Why is this? That's because they're doing something dramatic and they're not sticking to it. If you just simply cut out something small, like let's say chips, and you actually stick to it for a month, and I'll actually guarantee you that you'll probably lose more weight than the other person who didn't eat anything unhealthy for like a week and then gave up. That's why consistency doing the small things makes a big difference in your life. Alright, thank you all so much, subscribers, for checking out this book review. I highly recommend this book. You will not regret reading a single bit of this book. It will really make a big difference in your life. Go ahead and check it out. I used Audible to download it and hear it, so I don't actually read it, I just listen to it, and it still has the same effect. But you can actually order it on Amazon as well. I'll leave the link in the description. Thank you for taking the time to learn something new today. Habits like this will make you much more successful than the rest. Thank you all so much. Like this video, comment down below if you would like to listen to this book or read it. And also subscribe to the YouTube channel, Flaming Prophets YouTube channel. It really helps me out. Thank you all so much for joining me in today's video. I'll see you on the next one. Peace. As always, remember, I can, I will, I must.